All right, it's been a little while since I've done a review of the residency subreddit, and so I thought I would just take a quick look at what's on the front page right now. So this first one right here, seniors not helping interns. That sounds somewhat interesting. So internal medicine intern here. At this part of the year, we are expected to write H&Ps, put orders, call consults, present, etc. Basically do everything. Seniors be chilling and want to chat and waste our times. Some seniors see us overwhelmed, but oh no, they're not supposed to do these tasks as a senior. Please don't be that senior. Seniors, please stop interrupting interns if you don't want to help. Thank you. So I could totally see this being a huge problem, especially if you have a senior who is just distracting, and basically if they are just chilling there in the background and then having all these conversations all the time, and then when you're trying to get your work done with your notes and your discharges, they all of a sudden strike up some conversation about where they want to go this weekend or something like that, and then basically pull you away from doing your work. And that I could definitely see being very, very disruptive. And I've been on that side of the fence as well, where I was that intern and I had some seniors that I didn't feel were as good of seniors as others. For me, as my role as a senior, I don't feel like I'm chilling very much at all. And, as an intern, it can be hard to appreciate what your seniors can be doing for you sometimes. I feel really, really busy as a senior, to be honest. Usually at my institution, we stick around late and we do the sign out and the interns get to go home early. So that's one thing, but I'm also checking through all the orders all the time. When we're expected to stay late, I will pick up the slack and, help with discharges and things like and discharge instructions and things like that. And usually just any random tasks that, would potentially take up a lot of the intern's time. On top of that, you're managing like 1 to 3 medical students and both your interns. And so there's a lot of learners on the team that are asking you questions all the time. And then you're planning talks that you want to give, like a chalk talk. You're also prepping rounds. You're communicating with the attending and the case manager. A lot of my day actually is spent communicating with the case manager to make sure that everything that they need for discharge is set up. And that actually takes up quite a bit of time. And so actually as a senior resident, there is still a lot of work to be done. This person says, I just put on my AirPods while working on orders, notes, etc. I think that's enough for most people to know that I'm not trying to chat. And I think that's a very, very good strategy. I know some of my co-residents who do the exact same thing. And to be honest, I totally agree with this. Like, I don't want to chat when I'm at work. There's a lot of people who like to chat a lot. And, it's nice every now and then to just relax and, chill out at work. And then before you get back into delving into work. But like, for me, I just want to get my work done as quickly as possible. And then I want to spend the extra time, trying to be productive if I can, or getting home early or getting the interns home early. Like, I'm not there to like chat for prolonged periods of time, Working and effing around is the last skill of internship that you must master. Yeah, I am always surprised at some of the people who manage to basically just seem like they're goofing off all the time. And yet at the same time, all their work is getting done. I'm like, how is this possible? You have not sat down at the computer a single time over the last hour, and yet somehow you're like writing your progress notes and you're just like chatting and doing random stuff. So that is definitely a skill. There are people who are efficient enough, and you can get more efficient with time as well, and then you'll just have that extra time. But there's definitely people you'll find that have that skill. One of my great joys in life is watching the light return to my dead intern's eyes as I tell them the tasks I already did so they don't have to. Yeah, I think one of my biggest things is I love sending the interns home early when there's nothing else for them to do. Or like if we're waiting for an admit and it's 4:30 and I'm on for a 24-hour call and I know that a new admit comes in at 5:10, I'm not going to give it to the day intern. I'm just going to leave it and just do it together with the night intern who's coming on at 6 p.m. So in those situations, I just send them home even though we're on long call. It's definitely a rewarding feeling, knowing that you can make the intern's life a lot better. That being said, I've struggled a lot, and I've talked about this in some of my previous videos, but I've struggled a lot with actually balancing, doing too much work for the interns versus letting them kind of struggle a little bit, because you want to have a little bit of a stress test where the intern feels like they're being, pushed out of their comfort zone and having to do a lot of the tasks, while at the same time, being supportive of them. But you don't want to just do everything for them, because even though you can do it 2 or 3 times faster than they can, they're never going to learn that way if you just take all their work and just do it for them. And I remember when I was an intern, I really hated when my senior residents would put in all the orders for me and everything. And I'm like, hey, I want to practice putting in the orders. I didn't get to do that much in medical school. And I want to practice doing the admission order sets and all this stuff. And so it's a fine balance for sure. It's probably program specific, but outside of writing progress notes, seniors at my program frequently help us with writing handoffs, discharge stuff, or calling families. I'm already hyped to be a senior and be able to help interns out with these things. At this point, they're honestly easy to do and help the interns so much, it's kind of a no-brainer. Just trying to pay it all forward when I hopefully hate life less as a senior. So I really, really like this person's, their excitement to be a senior so that they can help out the interns. That is the correct mindset that I think that you need to go into going into senior year. Like, that's exactly how I felt like when I was going into a senior. I wanted to be somebody who would be supportive and to help my interns out. And, no, I don't know if that always shakes out the right way, all the time. And maybe it comes across as too micromanaging, and maybe it comes across as I'm not supporting them enough sometimes. Maybe I'm not in that fine balance that I was talking about before. But I strive for that. And I think having that mindset and that motivation to be that kind of senior is basically half the battle. Move 1. I just go find a random computer, or there are a few good quiet rooms that I go to finish up the day's work. I don't care if people think I'm not social. Sure as heck that I am leaving on time. Or 2, just tell them you are trying to get work done and would like to focus. Power move 3, give your senior a task to do. I never feel bad to ask them write some discharge scripts, change an order, etc., as long as I am getting stuff done too. And honestly, if an intern asks me to do something, I will help them out with it. I think that is a totally appropriate thing to do. As long as it's not like, hey, can you write all my progress notes? Then, if you ask for some small help here and there, it will help direct your senior to what you actually need help with in order to get out on time. As a senior, I help my interns with orders. If they're overwhelmed, I do an H&P here and there. And on their clinic days, I will help them finish their progress notes. After 2 p.m., I either F around with other seniors or I'll bring the intern snacks. And then this person says, as a senior, I'm still on work mode until 7 p.m. I'm either inefficient or we have a very busy service, always capped at 16. Yeah, I honestly feel like I'm usually working most of the time. I don't manage to finish all my stuff at like 2 p.m. Because usually our services are pretty much capped, at least recently. And it takes a lot of time just reviewing all the different patients on our list, making sure and double checking that everything's in, going through the notes to make sure that the notes make sense and they're updated. It's a lot of different work that has to be done. So I feel like I'm usually working pretty late as well. And I'm not, just chilling for the rest of the day, after eating lunch or something like that. And this is GrepMed, who I've talked to on Twitter a couple times. But he said this exact same thing to me. So lazy residents make strong interns. Strong interns make good residents. Good residents make soft interns. Soft interns make lazy residents. It's a cycle. And so it's kind of a very insightful comment, because it just shows you that this is kind of like a perpetual cycle, and it's kind of inevitable in some senses. You're going to have seniors that aren't that good, but it's going to make you better. And then you have to just be a little bit careful about not being too good where you make your interns bad. So it's definitely kind of an inevitable thing that will happen throughout medical training. This person says, not really. I have had very good seniors that made me a better resident, and I have also had lazy seniors that I just wanted out of my way. I know intern year is exhausting, and it sometimes seems like your seniors aren't doing anything, and they might not be at your program. But you'll be a senior soon and will understand. I do try to help out when people are swamped or in clinic, but everyone has a role for a reason, and your seniors need to delegate tasks so everything can be taken care of. But yes, they need to leave you alone so you can focus. So yeah, I really like this. You'll be a senior soon and you will understand. I think that's very true. All right, so again, just to summarize, when you're going into senior year, couple of key things to help out your interns and make them not feel that you are not helping them like this intern is feeling. So A, go in with the mindset of, I want to help my interns out and I want to make their lives as pleasant as possible. But B, at the same time, I want to make a nice balance where I'm not doing everything for them and I'm allowing them to kind of spread their own wings themselves. If you are an intern in this situation, feel free to go out. And if people are being too disruptive and too noisy, just leave and just get your work done in some quiet area, or put AirPods in and don't talk to people. In general, I do hope that everybody does their best and, at least gives it a shot. You're never going to be that perfect intern or that perfect senior, but you can always try your best. And in my books, effort is really what matters the most. And as long as you guys are taking good care of the patients and you are putting forth that, earnest effort and trying the best that you can to be the best senior or the best intern you can be, that is already winning half the battle in my book. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and peace.